group of pastors here that quite often as pastors when we get together, I hear the guys talking about how they've never seen such fellowship and such unity as they have here at South Delta. And I know that there's a great group of guys in North Delta as well, but it really is this amazing camaraderie amongst our churches, amongst the leadership of our churches, and we do pray that that spills over into the leadership at all levels in our community as we have a real collegial passion to work together and to improve and to see South Delta flourish, see North Delta flourish. And so we're really glad to be able to be here today and to encourage this event and support this event. We're going to take a moment and just pray for our leaders. We're going to walk through a list. I'm going to invite my friend Jeff Beck to come on up. I started here in Delta in 1986 in North Delta. My first posting, as it were, as a youth pastor in the very church that my friend Jeff now pastors in North Delta, the Pentecostal church there on 112th Street. And so we're going to tag team prayer today. We can do that, right? Right. All right.
There is a river, and it flows from deep within.
Anyway, Dan Unruh was born the youngest of 5 children to Russian Mennonite immigrant parents in Boissevain, Manitoba, and that could say he was raised in a religious family and understood early the natural integration of subscribing to a deep faith.
I had a student back in my late 70s school teaching days who was a great deal of trouble to teachers and administrators and other students in the school. By the tools of intellectual measurement of the day, Danny was considered slow academically. He could add and subtract little more than single digits. His printing was barely readable. He was a repeat grade 8 student, and in my first year of teaching, as what often happens to new teachers in small towns, I had him in 3 classes a day. No shock. I learned more from him than he learned from me. And that's not being disrespectful. I liked Danny, actually. He had spunk. And unfortunately, he had the kind of intelligence that the school system in those days didn't know how to measure, celebrate, or reward. In fact, they punished him most of the time. A few times, though, in the 3 years that I had him as a student, on nice days, my bottom feeder grade 8 class of sweat hogs, as they referred to themselves as, and this was in the first year, they and me, their teacher, would go outside to join the higher-ranking grade 11 class in their pickup baseball game already in progress. As we would approach the playing field, Danny would raise his hand, walk out onto the ball diamond, stop the game, of course, reassign all the playing positions, and then insert himself into either the pitching position or as the next batter. Do you know that not once, and I would say that happened on a half-dozen occasions, not once did the grade 11s or even the grade 12s protest or complain. Everyone just simply moved to their newly assigned positions and the game continued. What's more, Danny was smaller than all those rest of the boys on the field, and he was younger than them by a year or 2. It didn't matter. The big boys didn't even seem to notice that they were being led as he restructured their activity. They just simply did as he directed. What Danny was possessed with was the kind of leadership gift rarely seen anywhere. He could move people in a way that many of us in this room have fantasized at times that we could do. No school principal ever cornered him in a conversation, and I sat in on many of them. Extraordinary leadership skills. And in the day when we still measured IQ in a mathematical sort of way, in a flawed way, nevertheless, he was on the scale at 72. But he could have led the country.